Alright, it's time to find out what my first fusion is going to be for Season 3 of Supercard. It's the Hardened Fusion. Let's see what it is. Actually, before we check it out, leave your guesses in the comments. Now let's actually go and find out. So what's it going to be? Is it going to be... who is it? Oh, okay, so it's Tommaso. That's fine. I'm thinking he's not the worst one, but I'm also pretty sure he's not the best one. But either way, whether it's the best, the worst, or whoever it is, it's not like I'm going to keep the card because I want that Ultimate Fusion, of course. So we're going to use him right away for the Elite Fusion. So there you go. That's my first Hardened Fusion. And next up, or next episode, you'll see my Elite Fusion and then my Ultimate Fusion. But I don't think it really matters until it's that Ultimate Fusion because that's the one I'm going to keep. Oh, and by the way, that's a shit ton of points you need to get an Elite Fusion. How many do you need for an Ultimate one? Damn, 50k. What's up, my peeps, and welcome to the main portion of the video now. So, this week's event card, what's new in Supercard? We've got a Jack Gallagher event card. Didn't expect that. It's like the most random event card yet. I know we had Local Talent versus Braun Strowman in a PCC. That Local Talent card, yeah, that would beat out the Jack Gallagher card in terms of just random, unexpected card, but we never got to play as Local Talent, of course, because the Braun Strowman card won that PCC. So in terms of actual event cards that we're actually going to get to play as, this was totally random, so I'd put this as the most random event card yet. Nothing against Jack Gallagher, but I expected, I don't know, Bray Wyatt or maybe Kevin Owens or Chris Jericho or something like that, because it's usually main event talent or superstars that made a return. In the case, for instance, of Neville. He's not in the main event, but he made a big return. He's totally changed, and of course now he's the Cruiserweight Champion. But anyways, random event card aside, I wanted to talk about what I think should be next for Supercard. So, since Season 3 came out, of course, Season 3 came out with 3 new tiers, so right off the bat, we got, a lot of climbing up to do, because we were all in the SummerSlam tier, and now, for the first time, since pretty much the game came out, or actually no, since Season 2 came out, we had to not just climb up 1 new tier, but 3 new tiers, multiple tiers. And with that also came the Royal Rumble mode, which was brand new to the game. We also got introduced to Rank mode, bringing for the first time PvP, one-on-one live against another player in real time and not just a CPU using a player's tech. So Season 3 came out with a lot of new content, a lot of new stuff for us to do and collect. That was cool. But since then, we haven't had anything really new. We've had, of course, new cards. But the one thing that's remained the same since Season 1 of Supercard is the events. And actually now we've got 1 less event. PCC is gone. And since PCC is gone, all we've had is Ring Domination and Road to Glory. And then Ring Domination and Road to Glory. And over again, you get the points. And that's pretty much the only way for us to get the event cards at this time is you start with Ring Domination. If you aren't at the certain tier, if you aren't in the Ultimate tier, then of course you can't get the event card, and then you've got to get the second one through Road to Glory, but PCC is gone. And although I wasn't the biggest fan of PCC, both the single version and the team version, especially the team version, the team version was extremely tiring. You just had to spend hours upon hours, pretty much 24/7 with very little sleep, playing it to get a top spot, to get that card, and it wasn't even an event card. But anyways, my feelings aside when it comes to PCC, what PCC brought is variety to the game. There wasn't just one way to get an event card. You could get one through PCC, you could get one through Road to Glory. But now, the only option is you've got to get that first event card from Ring Domination, and then you follow it up with Road to Glory for the same event card. It's just the second one. So, even in Season 1, where you'd have to get a pro through 1 PCC, or you'd have to get a pro through 1 Road to Glory, what that did is make it so every single week was a different event card. So, 1 week, you'd get, let's say, Dean Ambrose in PCC, and then the next week, it would be a completely different superstar. So, what I'm getting at here is, Not necessarily to bring back PCC, because like I said, not the biggest fan of it, even though bringing back PCC would be an improvement because, like I said, it does add variety to the game, and it gives you another way to get event cards rather than just getting all your event cards the exact same way every single time, ring domination, and then to get the pro version, Road to Glory. What I'd like more than them just bringing back PCC is to introduce a brand new event. And I'm talking strictly event here, or mainly events, because we've already got new modes. It's really, I think, the events that are getting, repetitive. So you add a new event, something that we haven't played before, something that we haven't seen before, kind of like Royal Rumble. I think Royal Rumble, that's a good idea. I've tried it out for the first time when they were giving out the limited edition Taker card, and I actually liked it. So maybe a brand new event to switch things up a bit in terms of how you get an event card, but maybe without bouts, because at the moment, the two events that we do have both require bouts, Road to Glory and Ring Domination, and what separated, or one of the things that separated PCC from both of those is that you didn't have bouts. You could play as much as you want, so you got out of it the amount you put into it. And of course, PCC was just better, in my opinion, for free players especially to get their event cards. And there wasn't, a limit or a bar. You couldn't, if you wanted that event card, you could get it if you put in enough time for it. So even if you weren't Ultimate, but you really wanted that card, you could get it just like any other Ultimate player or whatever new tier is going to come out. So you didn't need to be at that top tier, and PCC was a good way for people to move up the ranks if they wanted to put in the time to get the cards. I think a new event that takes a bit from the Rumble mode where you're defending the ring and also takes away the bouts from that so you can play as much as you want, as much as you can. I think that could be good, but then also if you want something completely different, how about a triple threat event or a fatal throwaway event where you're taking on not just one opponent, but multiple opponents. For instance, two other opponents at the same time, trying to see which of the three cards would beat out the others. It's hard for me to come up with a really detailed mode right now on the spot, right off the top of my head. But with the introduction of the Rumble mode, for instance, it's obvious that they've got some good ideas. So I'd like to see those ideas put into a new event. And the good thing about a new event is it doesn't just vary things up when it comes to the single events or the way you get cards on your own, but every single event eventually gets turned into a team event as well, so it also adds variety to that. Because we haven't just been playing Ring Domination and Road to Glory for the single cards only, or for the event cards, we've also been playing them for all the team events. So with that said, I want to know what you guys think about this. Do you guys agree or do you disagree? Would you like to see a new event added to the game? Do you think that's what Supercard needs over a new tier? And if you've got an idea of how the event would work out, how it would be played, let me know in the comments. I've seen some of you guys come up with some really good ideas, so I'm sure somebody has a good idea for an event in mind. And yes, I also know that some people don't have the greatest ideas when it comes to events. For instance, that Team SummerSlam video that I did showing a guy who on the Supercard Wikipedia page put up this explanation about this Team SummerSlam event that just didn't exist, and the explanation was it just didn't make much sense. I mean, I don't know, it might have been a good idea, but the explanation was just bad. It didn't make much sense. But anyways, let me get off this topic because I want to answer a question that I've been getting on both YouTube and Twitter. And that's about Money in the Bank. So people have been asking, hey, I've got a certain amount of Money in the Bank contracts at the moment, and I want to know, can I get the Naomi card or whatever card they want before time's up? And this is really simple to figure out. All you need to do is take the amount of contracts that you know you can get per day. So let's say on average, you get 800 contracts per day. You take that number and you multiply it by the amount of days left, excluding the extra hours, just the amount of days left. And then you take the total that you get out of that equation and you add it up with the contracts that you've already got, and that total is going to be the amount of contracts that you'll have around there at the end of Money in the Bank. And that number right there should answer your question, because if it's enough contracts, then that means yes, you'll be able to get that Money in the Bank card that you're trying to get. And if it's not enough, then obviously you want to wait for the next set of Money in the Bank rewards, or if you're really set on getting these ones, then obviously that means that you'll have to buy some bouts. Now, I will give another tip here, because one of the questions, or one of the people that did ask this question, did say that, hey, I got the first Naomi card, and he's wondering if he can get the second one. And from what I checked, he didn't have too many contracts at that time, so he just wouldn't have enough time if he tried to do it for free. Here's a tip. If you guys don't know if you can get a card or not in Money in the Bank, the Pro version, just wait. It's just better to wait. Don't go ahead and redeem one of the cards when you're not really sure, you're not really guaranteed that you can get the second one. It's better off to just save your contracts, keep on playing Money in the Bank. If by the end of the Money in the Bank cycle you can get a Pro, get the Pro. But if you go ahead and just get one right off the bat because you have enough for one, but you don't know if you're going to be able to get that second one, you might be stuck with just a single Money in the Bank card and never be able to Pro it. So pretty much, in Money in the Bank, it's just better to wait until you've got enough contracts to get both of the cards you want at the same time, or just use the formula that I told you guys. Actually, I'll flash it on the screen right now so you've got a visual of it. You can pause it if you want, to write it or whatever. And that way you can figure out if you'll be able to get enough contracts by the end of Money in the Bank to redeem those cards. So that was my Supercard tip of the day. Hopefully that was helpful to some of you guys. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, you can click the like button down below. Let's get this one to over 250 likes. And with that said, I'm out, guys. See ya.